I'm telling you, it was him, Ellie. Right down to the little black dot on the tip of his nose.
Whew, baby, Terrifier 4 is one of the most highly anticipated slasher sequels on the horizon, and we barely know anything about it. Something that has been shared from franchise creator Damien Leone is that Art the Clown's backstory will finally be revealed within the first 15 minutes. The mysterious murder clown has been the fascination of the horror community since his big break in 2022, with sequel Terrifier 2 being catapulted from the underground into the mainstream. That success was only furthered with Terrifier 3 in 2024 going on to be the highest grossing unrated horror film of all time. Besides getting to know about Art the Clown's backstory in this fourth entry, we've also heard that it may be the finale of the franchise, the final chapter. However, on the red carpet for Halloween Horror Nights for Art's debut at Universal Studios, some of the stars of this franchise had some other thoughts. So in today's video, let's break down some of the most recent updates regarding Terrifier 4. Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. If you're hyped up for Terrifier 4 just like me, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more updates on the film in the future. Also, the best way to support this page is by becoming a channel member or Patreon supporter. Sign up today for a bonus weekly video and exclusive perks. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get into the video. So first of all, the Terrifier franchise continues to boom as Art the Clown has taken over Universal Studios for this year's HHN. I honestly haven't been covering it because I know I can't make it down there this year. Those tickets are pricey. I'm not jealous of any of the people in my live streams telling me they're so excited to go. I got to go back in 2022, and I know just from that experience alone that it is one of the very best haunted house experiences of all time. I say that with no hyperbole. On top of that, Art has a new video game coming out this October that I'll be playing over on the gaming channel. Sorry about the shameless plug, but go check out our gaming channel GullGotha. It's pretty dang cool. And Rhea Ripley has even done a merch collab with the Manic Menace. After showing interest in being in this franchise on multiple podcasts, and now this happens, there's no way she's not getting her face ripped off in Terrifier 4. I'm excited for another wrestling cameo. Damien has also talked a little bit more about what's going on in these first 15 minutes of Terrifier 4 about our juicy jester. I am already running out of ways to describe Art the Clown. Hopefully I make it through this video. After promising that Art's origins would be revealed in those first 15 glorious minutes of the next movie, Damien spoke to Collider a few weeks ago, adding, "I love the mystique. That's the most important part, even if people don't realize it because they're just so hungry to know what his deal is. I think a lot of people don't realize the reason he works so well is because of the mystique. If you pull the curtain back too far and you lose that mystique, it's over. You're not supposed to see the wizard behind the curtain. It's almost always a disappointment." I could not agree more. That desire to get more information on who the hell this guy is and why he's doing all of these awful things to people, that's what keeps us coming back. The moment you take that away, well, horror fans might move on to something else. Thankfully, Damien Leone knows that. He continues saying, "I think there's a way with his origin to have my cake and eat it too, but we'll find out. I am taking a bit of a risk, but I'm very well aware about losing that mystique at the same time, so we'll see if it plays out. I think the majority of people are going to be very cool with it." Damien promises that you'll see a lot of answers in this upcoming film, but to a fault, and he's also still writing some of the screenplay for this upcoming flick. Damien has the right idea here entirely. Like, you have to give the audience something with each new entry, especially with this being promoted as the final film, which we'll talk about why I don't think that is in a second, but don't reveal every single detail to ruin that mystique, baby. At least someone making horror films right now understands that. Strangers Chapter 2, sorry. Excuse me. Allergies. Mystique and a good story will always be more valuable than just simple blood and gore. I mean, it's like having frosting without a cake. Now, the most interesting update in today's video is we recently got some very interesting comments from the stars of the Terrifier franchise on the red carpet for HHN. Starting off here with an interview with Elliot Fulham and Antonella Rose, both of them are unsure of their future in the franchise.
I'm like in a limbo now. I've been hearing all kinds of crazy theories that possibly that Jonathan could be alive.
With ghosts of Art the Clown's previous victims terrorizing Sienna in Terrifier 3, I'm sure there are ways to see Jonathan come back in this next movie. Or maybe his death was a fake out and he's still alive. You know, just like Stu Macher. Victoria is a character who many of us thought would actually be dead this time, but Samantha Scafidi had an interesting theory during these interviews.
Do you think there's a chance we could see more of Victoria?
I hope so.
Her theory is that this fourth movie will likely conclude the current storyline, where Art the Clown could still return for chaos in the future. Maybe we could see the romance between Vicky and that glass shard again sometime soon as well. The most interesting interview here, though, is with Lauren Lavera and David Howard Thornton, who give each other the most interesting look when they're asked about Terrifier 4 potentially being the last movie in the franchise.
There is a fourth movie coming.
Yes.
In theory, the last one. How do you feel?
Okay, y'all saw that, right? They know something.
Maybe for a little while, but I have a feeling that Damien's gonna want a house in the Hamptons.
I agree with David Howard Thornton here, man. I think having 3 jet skis is cooler than 2. Seriously though, you gotta strike while the iron is hot, and Art the Clown is the biggest horror villain ever right now. I strongly doubt this will actually be the last Terrifier movie, just the final chapter in the main storyline. Let's not forget that the Friday the 13th franchise had 8 more movies after their supposed final chapter, which was also their 4th entry, interestingly enough. Basically what I'm trying to say is Art the Clown is going to space. What could happen next though if this new movie concludes the main storyline, you might ask? Well, Lauren Lavera pitched the idea that Sienna could come back in a similar way to Laurie Strode in Halloween H2O for another battle with Art years down the line. That sounds awesome, but also doesn't sound like something that's gonna go into production for like another decade here. What could we do after Terrifier 4 though? Well, if those Demolition guys sort of spelled out Art the Clown's backstory in the 3rd film, maybe we could see a grimy prequel from the time before our tantalizing trickster became supernatural. We are getting dangerously low on new names for Art here, man. Could Art's origin story be that he was a serial killer in the 90s who went after kids and buried them in the basement of that old dilapidated house? I think that story could actually hold some weight and be a challenging return to form for this franchise that it might need after Terrifier 4. I mean, let's be real, we're probably going to have this like grandiose battle in the underworld between Art the Clown and Sienna in this next flick. That is a far cry from where this franchise started all the way back in 2016 with the original Terrifier. Wouldn't it be kind of refreshing to make a movie like the original Terrifier, but maybe have a higher budget and a stronger story? Art the Clown with no supernatural powers or anything along those lines, he's just a serial killer wearing a clown costume. You'd still get the brutal kills that this franchise is known for with a simpler story. And of course, our enigmatic entrail-spilling entertainer. I still got some in the tank, baby. And maybe this prequel will have an opportunity to give us another peek behind the curtain. Not shatter the mystique entirely, like Damien was saying earlier, but just another little something about Art's origins. The point being here, I definitely do not think that Terrifier 4 will be the final film. We're definitely getting something else in the future, but I do think that Terrifier 4 will see the end to a certain chapter of this franchise. It may also be the last film that Damien Leone writes and directs. But whether we get some sort of prequel story, another sequel in general, or an H2O style sequel decades down the line, there will be more Terrifier. I'm not a betting man, but if I were, I'd be betting on a 5th Terrifier film. What do you guys think about Terrifier 4 though? Do you think this will be the final entry, or is Damien looking to buy that yacht? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching, please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.